Welcome to the Get Recruited 365 blog. I am your host, Marc Beckwith, here on behalf of Get Recruited 365, Victory Sports Academy, and of course, Wingstop in West Monroe. Today I have with me a class of 2016 prospect, a running back prospect from Sterlington High School, Mr. Jeffrey Griffin. Jeffrey, how you doing, man?
I'm doing pretty
Good,
good.
good, good, man. Glad to finally sit down with you, kind of catch up, talk a little bit of recruiting, talk a little bit about your summer plans, what's going on with you into your senior year. For those coaches that are paying attention right now, can you give them your height and your weight?
5'10", 182 pounds.
Okay. As I said before, class of 2016 prospect. Give them your GPA as well as your ACT score.
GPA is 2.8 and ACT is 18.
Definitely. You still got some time to continue to get that GPA improved. I know you're working hard to do that, and a few more times to get that ACT up just to make sure you can kind of maximize your skill set as a player and as a student athlete first. Talk to us a little bit about your summer plans. Have you gone to any camps this summer? Are you going to a few camps this summer? Talk to us about that.
The beginning of the summer, I did a few camps. I went to ULM, Northwestern, but I went to Delta State and Southern Miss. And as far as now, I have one more camp. That's at Arkansas State.
Okay. Talk to us a little bit about the camp experience. How was it? How was it going out there and kind of seeing where you fit in against other players, seeing how what it would be like to play at the college level? Talk to us about the camps.
As far as playing at the college level, it's a faster pace. You go out there. At first, you start being pretty nervous because you don't know what to expect. Once you get out there, you get comfortable. You realize it's some of the best talent around. Once you get out there and you figure out where you stand at, you get real comfortable, you start relaxing, you start just going out there doing what you do best.
Right.
And once, it's real fast once you get there.
Absolutely, and that's part of making that adjustment, going to that next level, being able to kind of anticipate the difference in the talent level. Pretty much where you're at, you're one of the most talented players on your team right now, and making that jump into college. Pretty much everybody that's there is talented already, so it's just about making those adjustments. Doing what's necessary in order to compete at that level, and I don't have any problems thinking that you're going to be one of those players that's going to be able to make those adjustments. Talk to us about a few schools that are showing interest or that are showing offers, both academically as well as an athlete.
As an athlete, ULL, Northwestern State, and Delta State is showing pretty good interest. They're showing that they respect me as a player, and also they're showing that they can put up the effort as far as educational wise. Just on the educational, those sports, just came back from a campus tour at Ole Miss.
Definitely. That's definitely good, to kind of be on the radar a bit where certain colleges have recognized your athletic ability, but then with you having the academics to be able to perform as a college student as well, that's important as well. That's pretty much what we're all about here, is making sure that, coaches understand that, you're a well-rounded athlete that understands what it takes to perform in college, both on the field and off the field, understand the expectations that come along with being a scholarship athlete. Talk to us about a major that you're interested in college. What are you thinking you're going to go to college and major?
I plan on majoring in business management.
Okay.
Later on in entrepreneurship.
Okay. Talk to us a little bit why. What's your mindset behind going into business?
I grew up around people always saying, you should try different stuff. I have a family that owns their own business.
Okay.
So I figured, hey, I'm gonna give it a shot. And then I started, really learning into it, and I realized that, owning your own business also takes leadership. It's the same way as it is on the field. When you're on the field, you have to have good leadership. You have to show your teammate that, hey, I'm gonna do what I gotta do, to help the team win. Owning my own business is a part of being leadership too.
Definitely, and you kind of hit the nail on the head when you said you're taking the skill that you get in football already and trying to use that into real life. And with you having entrepreneurs as a part of your family, it's something that you're learning on the fly. You kind of seeing it firsthand with them. So I think that would definitely be something that would be beneficial for you when you go to college and you decide on picking a major, something that you obviously are passionate about because you've done some research to figure out, all right, how can I take what I already know and what I'm good at and use it in the career world. Let's talk a little bit about football as it relates to last season and then getting ready to go into this season. You got bit by the injury bug last season. So the question is out there, how is Jeffrey going to respond? Is he going to be the player he was before the injury? Is he going to be a little slower? Is he going to be better? Talk to us about last season and where you are in terms of rehabilitation and where you're going to this season.
Last season, I got hurt, injured my back. I had a bulge just between L4 and L5. And it took me 10 weeks, 3 weeks before the season, 7 weeks into the season. And I came back starting out pretty slow, but as far as rehabilitation, I would come back, I've gotten a lot faster, and I'm working on getting stronger. And as far as going into the next season, I'm planning on getting a lot more reps, building myself as getting even stronger than I am now and even faster, and just get ready for the college level.
Definitely. Do you feel like you're going to play with a little bit more chip on your shoulder this year because of some of the doubt that's out there? Kind of saying, you know, how is this kid going to respond? Do you think that's going to be extra motivation for you for this season?
It is, and as far as me as a person, I feel like going into this season, I got a point to prove. A lot of people, they're saying that he's been hurt, he's not the same kid as before, he might not even come back as good as he was, but I plan on not being as good as I was before the injury, but being better.
Absolutely, and I think that's the best way, to go about a situation. Injuries can happen to any player at any given time. And as it relates to the recruiting game, you have some coaches who will get off a guy just because, a guy's been injured, but it has no kind of assessment on what you're going to be and how you're going to recover coming off there. So any doubters out there who don't think that you have the ability mentally as well as physically to bounce back from an injury like that, this season is all about proving them wrong, as you said, and using those haters for motivation, so to speak. Let's talk a little bit about a player comparison. Who do you feel like he could be a player at the college level, a player at the NFL level? Who do you feel like your game is most like?
I feel like my game is most like Ty Gurley.
Okay, Ty Gurley, yeah. I mean, that's a big name there. One of those all-around athletes out there, Georgia now in the NFL, probably going to turn some heads. A guy who had to respond to injuries. The doubters that were out there that saying, could he rebound from the injuries that he had? A workhorse though for the Georgia Bulldogs, no question. When he got on the field, what kind of player he is. Why do you feel like your game is like Ty Gurley?
Because when he was playing for Georgia, he was a good power back. He was quick, he was smooth on his feet, and he had speed. He got hurt. He waited, that's how he was when he first started, but then he bounced back and ended up being stronger, faster, even better than he was. So I feel like that I could be in the same situation. Well, I was in the same situation. I just need to come back and be stronger.
Absolutely. Let's talk about what are you looking for in a college program. We can talk both offensively, defensively, scheme-wise, maybe even academically. What are you looking for? And obviously we talked about the majors, but what are some of the things that you're looking for in a college program?
As far as just sports-wise, I'm looking for a college that would actually teach me, show leadership, and willing has a team that's willing to work together and become more like a family instead of just a team. I want to work with some players that I can build, year round instead of we just been all separate doing our own things. And academically, I'm looking for a college that will take time out of the day, just give me a tool to show me if I need help with this, have somebody I can get with to, help me bring up my grades and keep myself where I need to be.
Right. In terms of a player, what do you feel like a coach is getting when they offer a young man like yourself a scholarship? What kind of player are they getting to the program?
I feel like they're getting a player that's going to do anything to help their team win. No matter if it's switching position for this game, and then going back, or just working with a different position, or working with somebody new, teaching somebody the basics, and just basically all around, just multiple package. Somebody that's really going to give you a good reason for why he's here.
Right. Just basically doing what's best for the team. Pretty much, being a football player, a lot of the times athletes get stuck to playing a certain position. But one of the things that's often missing when they make that jump from being a high school player to a college player, certain coaches in certain programs may see a quarterback and see a free safety or see a linebacker. And in today's game, you just have to be flexible as an athlete. You have to know if I primarily play running back and the coach sees me as a defensive back, I have to be willing to make that adjustment to do what's necessary to play football. At the end of the day, that's the ultimate goal. You're about to say something. Go ahead.
I was,
Just agreeing. All right, let's talk about it. Would you be willing to commit to a school early? Right now, there's a lot going on. Some people feel like committing early is not good. Some people feel like committing early is good for them. Where do you stand in terms of committing to a school early?
I would commit to a school early. If they showing me that they're willing to work with me, if they respect me as a person, not just as an athlete, and they we're willing to work together as a group instead of just being just some other player, then yes, I will commit early.
Okay. With me, as it comes to athlete committing early, like you kind of said, it's all about the fit, and it's all about understanding, does this program have the right plan in place for you as an athlete as well as a student? A lot of the times, you know, when kids make that jump, they just focus on the football. They fall in love with the name of the school just because of Saturdays and Saturday nights. But you as a player, you have to set yourself up career-wise. You have to set yourself up, even if you're going to become a professional athlete, you need to make sure you're getting the right foundation so that you can handle that jump whenever that comes around. As a recruit, how do you see yourself? Do you feel like you're an under-the-radar prospect? Do you feel like your recruiting is where it should be? If so, kind of tell me why.
I feel like I'm kind of under the radar because I missed the majority of my junior season, and then I had the accident on my back, and they probably think you might not be the same as far. I just feel like I'm really under the radar.
Definitely, and you know that's one of the things that's kind of unfortunate. Even though you know we live in times where it's a lot of quote unquote outlets for kids to showcase their skills, there's still a lot of times kids for various reasons kind of fall under the radar, as you said. But I believe that this year is a year where you come out and really showcase your skills. Really, it was a lot of potential surrounding you early on to your career, but for various reasons things have worked out. But God always has a plan. So this year is the year. You still got plenty of time. Like you said, your rehab is going really good. You solidified yourself out there in that Sterlington program. So it's going to be big expectations out there for you this year. And we here at Get Recruited 365, we're going to do everything we can to make sure that that exposure is out there for you. When you go to these different camps during the summer, come back, we'll do a recruiting update and let people know, what's going on. Hey, he visited Arkansas State, he liked it, he didn't like it, what's going on, what's happening next, GPA and ACT updates, all those great things in order to help make sure that the colleges that you want to know about you, know about you. That's pretty much what this is all about. We want to make sure we're making connections so that you end up at the school of your dreams. With that being said, if a coach wants to get in contact with you, how do they do that?
You can reach me on my Facebook page, which is just Jeffrey N. Griffin, or you can reach me on Twitter, which is once again Jeffrey Griffin, and you can reach me on my email address, which is rampage785@gmail.com.
Okay, and we'll make sure we put that information up on the screen so that coaches can contact you. And like always, you can hit us up on Twitter at GetRecruited365. If you're interested in Jeffrey, we'll pass any and all information on to him. After all, this is his career, his life, his plans going forward. Definitely a young man that I want to see succeed. And sign that letter of intent to go on and fulfill his dreams of playing college football. This has been the Get Recruited 365 vlog. That's Jeffrey Griffin. I'm Marc Beckwith. Thank you for tuning in.